I would ask what was on your mind, but the answer is obviously me. Ask away. I have got nothing but... Sell it, of course. I don't have any use for the scribblings of idiotic scientists, but whoever gave me this tip obviously does. Assuming I make it out of this place alive. And with my ship out of commission, I'll have to leave on foot and hope my luck changes. One problem at a time, I suppose. I have been asking myself the same question. Our tactics were sound, but no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. We were acting on a good tip, but the tip never mentioned the raps. When we hit the lab, those raps got loose, tore through as many of ours as theirs. From the day we are born, we are made to obey. Never question, never hope. Never dream of anything greater than the lot appointed to us. Corporations expect us to work until the day we die. But they could not give a half-bit shit about our lives. No one asks why anymore. The establishment tells us to live here, work there, eat that, drink this. All our choices are made for us, so we forget we ever had a choice. I am doing this because I can. Because it thrills me. Because I take a deep and profound pleasure from stabbing at the heart of corporate power, no matter how shallow the wound. I would ask what was on your mind, but the answer is obviously me.
Never imagined I'd say this, boss, but even a raptidon deserves better.
I would ask what was...
Watch out!
Yeah, boss? fun.
You done a job of work. After you cacked their employer, the gun hands started surrendering, or trying to slip out. We heard it all from up here. Hell of a thing. Lost some of my own in the fight, and a bunch of the staff died before we could get them to Roseway. Sign on my door says it is, but that ain't your trouble. Get down to Roseway and talk to Doc Crane. He'll make sure you get what's yours. Get down to Roseway and talk to Doc Crane. He'll make sure you get what's yours.
That's clever.
Heads up, boss!
No hard feelings, okay?
You've returned. What news? Please tell me you've recovered my research. Without my work to focus on, I find myself tending towards darker paths of inquiry. Jameson. I didn't do right by him, did I? Only cared about how he helped or hurt my research. You understand nothing. Me least of all. That's not true. I'm a man of great caring. I'd never own up to that, though it be true. It's this place, this colony. You can see that, can't you? I need to get to Byzantium. It's the only place life can have meaning. I suppose you've earned it. Oh, really? Who? That underhanded swine. I'll have him sorted out at once. Such a thing should be within even Porter's limited abilities. Orson? Good. It will keep him from wasting my time. Sounds like he might actually be doing something useful for once. I will be happy to answer your questions once I have my research. In the meantime, I will occupy myself considering the different ways I can end my life. No, realistic. I don't get that research back, I'll be released from my indenture contract. You can't be serious. No contract, no work. No work, you're a pariah, cast out, shunned. Soon you'll find yourself among deserters. You know, dregs, ne'er-do-wells, eking out a horrible existence on the periphery of society. Even if that's not my fate, I don't relish being sent to some backwater corporate township.
Are they paying this guy to be a jackass, or is he doing it for free?
This is temporary and simply a means to an end. My research? That's... You can't possibly understand the enormity of what you've done for me. And what, pray tell, is the status of our raptidons? That complicates the equation somewhat. No matter, I have the research. Excellent. If we're done here, I'd like to get back to work. You understand? Actually, there is something else. Why do you suppose Auntie Cleo's would want to market diet toothpaste to the lower classes? Yes, but that doesn't quite ring true. There's something amiss here. It nags at me like a sore tooth, but I can't for the life of me figure out why. By the architect, this could be a disaster. Why did I not realize that? That would have been enough before, but you questioning my motives, my compassion, has unsettled me. All I cared about before was Byzantium. I believed getting there was everything, that my life would finally have meaning. That's easy for you to say. You're not trapped like I am. I honestly don't know.
Oh, hello. Why do you seem familiar? Have we met?
I'm just quite selective about what information I choose to retain. That said, yes, I recognize you.
What a relief. You hold months of work in your hands.
Anton would have just given them to Porter without a second thought. What a waste of potential that would have been. Sadly true. Contraband does tend to fetch a high price among the colony's ne'er-do-wells. So be it. I'll buy them off of you. Much obliged. Here are your bids. Now, let's see here. Attach this, twist that, apply a little pressure, and voila! I can finally call this little side project complete. Thank the law. Oh. I can't be caught with this. You take it. If R&D buys the schematics from me, perhaps I'll get you the first model, hot off the presses. I'll, call you? Yes, I'll call you.
all on the wrist.
Employee, you have been fined an additional 200 bits for commerce obstruction. Please collect your ticket. Please, clear the roadway. Obstruction of commerce is punishable by a fine of no less than 10,000 bits. Warning. Having obstruction.
Huh? Oh, I am alert and awake. Not to worry. I take our ship's security highly seriously. Would you like a reminder on when your next shower is scheduled? You might want to consider changing your clothes more often. Well, how can I be? Forgive me, Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex Hawthorne today. Was there another topic on your mind? No, I am sure I cannot feel emotions. The memory has merely disrupted one of my processors. Glitches can be quite uncomfortable. It was my fault he died. Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer, thereby giving me near. I have been programmed to deftly calculate navigation vectors through asteroid fields, while also Alex also taught me the concept of a personality. He was quite delighted when I crafted one in order to better engage with him. The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator, Created by, redacted, on the data. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover the missing information. I asked once. Alex did not build me, and wouldn't.
Initiating initialization sequences. Greetings, customer! This SAM unit is unable to locate your registered in... Would you like to register your SAM? Registering new owner. Captain. SAM units live to clean and clean to live. Issuing sanitation ticket. Error. Refill printer paper. Thank you, Sam. We guarantee it's the only sanitation and maintenance unit you'll ever need. All SAM units travel fully assembled in a 12... Did you know SAM units are capable of equipping regulation-grade flame... Got stubborn stains. Leave them for...
Good to see you, boss.
Have you ever...
Hey, Captain. I hope I wasn't too much bother at the bar. I did have fun, and I tried some things I never would have otherwise. And I don't feel it today. I guess that water must have worked. I'm glad I had you looking out for me. I wouldn't mind having a drink again. Someday. In the distant future. Anyway. I messaged Junlei when we got back, and she replied super quick. Okay. I was awake half the night, thinking about what I sent, anxious to see what you said. I reread my message in the morning, and it was unclear. I was drinking when I sent it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the courage. Also, sorry for the typos. I've ruined things in the past because I didn't say things I should have, like, I've met someone who's become special to me. I want to be honest with her, so if she feels the same about me, there won't be any surprises. Isn't she sweet? Like one of those 2-bit romances where one soul's all stiff and formal and, I should be glad to perhaps take hold of your hand, miss. I ought to go write her back. I mean, I already did. Twice. But anyhow...
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Hey, that pad down there, with the lights off, there are people unloading a ship.
Probably another sublight contract haul.
Widows mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Have you had a moment to look into that little opportunity I told you about on Roseway? You don't hurry up. Someone will get to snooping around there before you do. What's that? Speak up now. What'd you turn up? Well, that's just swell, sweetheart. Good for you. Bless your slippery little fingers. Isn't that just a shame? Prototype schematics go for a fair handful of bits around here. A shame you didn't visit old Gladys first. That would have fetched a good price. I may have thrown in a batch of my famous sugar cookies just to sweeten the deal. If Auntie Cleo's exporting wraps from Monarch, golly me, someone's going to be in the soup when they get caught. Darnation. It sounded like a gold mine, but maybe that's just my old hopes getting in the way. I suppose it can't be helped. Law bless you for doing the legwork, sweetie. Don't forget your pal Gladys now. You can come visit any time. Yes, dear. Which offer were you interested in? Suit yourself. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. If you're here for this week's magazine club... Yes, dear. Which offer were you interested in? Fantastic. Do be careful with it, dear, as these keys tend to be a tad hard to acquire. You should have a chat with Lilia Hagen in the Sublight offices. She's a dear. You'll love her. Now, was there anything else? Well, ain't that peachy? You enjoy that stamp, you understand? And don't you dare use it responsibly. Anything else? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
Hey, boss. If you need a tour guide, I've seen all 12 episodes of Terror on Monarch. I'm an expert.
Monarch is a wretched hive of terrorism and anarchy. We best top up our ammo stock before we leave.
Looking sharp.
There's a reason they got this place under quarantine, right?
To the last Ratchet on Rutton time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you? What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone. Criminy. She really ain't gonna drop this, is she? Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed folk that we are. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear. Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
You're a deft hand with the mag pick.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
How do you do? Huh. Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable.
Boss, you can't be serious. The board's got no right to just enslave another human being.
That's where you're wrong, young man. Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone practical for a change. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work? Be my guest. Ask away. Oh my law. You've done it! You've saved my hide! I can't thank you enough. Now then, let me see. I just have to apply the seal here, sign like so, and... ta-da! Here are the forms you'll need once you reach Byzantium. Oh, and a nav key so your ship can travel there. Those authorization forms will let you speak with Sophia when you arrive. I'll send her a message straight away to let her know you're coming. She'll be delighted, I'm sure.
This guy's acting like he's on a first-name basis with Sophia Akande. She's the chairman's right hand?
Yes, quite. Miss Akande is just the person to take someone with your particular talents and sterling character under her wing. She can fill you in on all of the board's operations in the colony, really put your talents to use. Best of luck to you, and thank you again. Give my regards to the Unreliable.
I never thought I would see the gates of Byzantium. Never mind what lies beyond.
Byzantium, the city of...
CNP.
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got... The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. You won't be sorry, though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Time to play favorites, Captain. Traveling in style, are we? I'll be sure to nab a cabin with a view.
We got us a real sawbones. Welcome aboard, Ellie.
CNP chicken and potatoes. At CNP, we know our CNP.
You weren't followed, were you? I hope not. Sure is. Welcome aboard, contractor. One of my guys in Stellar Bay has a lead on some high-grade salvage, but he went dark before he could spill the goods. We arranged a drop at the Saltuna warehouse's loading dock. Find whatever he left there and take it to Fallbrook. My gal Catherine will be expecting you. Now, get going. Catherine will brief you on the details when you check in with her at Fallbrook. One last thing. When you're on the job, keep a pair of eyes in the back of your head. Understood? You'll do fine. Probably nothing to worry about. Probably.
Well, that set me at ease.
Felix Millstone, sublight agent. I like the sound of that.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast. Aftertaste the rainbow.
One day I'm gonna see my face on a bounty notice. Felix Millstone, wanted for everything.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Max. Maximilian. Vicar. Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by inclination. Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a mean zero-G cock. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise that about cup. Aw, come on. That stuff's boring. Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters is that you've got to give... I'm all for making a few bits together and have... No complaints here.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret work. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at...
Every SAM unit comes lean. Error. This unit is...
What you reading, Max?
If I tell you, will you leave me alone?
Probably not. What is it with you and books, anyway?
Some of us like to improve ourselves, Dr. Fenhill.
No, I mean keeping those paper books. You got the data pad. Why waste the cargo space? You one of those people who wears reading glasses to look smart?
Welcome back, Captain. Now that you have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay, would you like me to contact Dr. Wells?
Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch. You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound. Come see me in my lab. I'll answer any questions you have. Best of luck. Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt... What's on your mind?
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
Oh, what do you got there? Is that a scrap? Hey, Captain. I got a thing I want to ask you. It's kind of big. I was thinking about what you said before, after we went to the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. I reckon you're right. I think I'm ready to stop fretting and fussing and ask Junlei to go steady, straight out. And I'm thinking of doing it here, on the ship. I was kind of hoping you'd offer. The thing is, I can't ask her over like this. I mean, look at me. I'm all covered in engine grease and I ain't showered in nigh on a week. I smell like sweat most days and, well, don't look too close at my fingernails. I was thinking, hoping, we could stop by Groundbreaker for bath supplies. I mean, only if you're not busy. Or when you're heading through Groundbreaker for something else. You don't gotta change plans on account of me. Anyhow, next time we dock in Groundbreaker, let me know. 'Cause I want to come with. I could probably spend...
Battery levels are...
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? Wait! Don't go just yet. I've been practicing for this. Here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. They make Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood. Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
Watch your step if you venture
We're
outside
here,
the walls.
light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peels, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding. All over the place. Getting so I can't tell the blood. Don't interrupt, it's rude. but I gotta get in there. Get right in that baby-wrapped stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop... Shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring... Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink. Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger? Well. Let's get down to brass nuts. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head. Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine, I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger. Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here. And I don't mean that unkind. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you? Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the iconoclasts or some sort. Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls. Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees after. Nope. But a man can dream.
We don't get many outsiders.
We don't get many outsiders.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Got any news?
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us? Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands. You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least. If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon. Sure thing.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
We're not the best equipped. Scouting for rabbits keeps us on our...
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
I hope your being here means the board is loosening their restrictions.
MSI keeps the fishery running and the walls intact.
Well,
New business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna. Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for... I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back. Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
What?
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Ingenious plan? Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to admire your sand, but I bet you could overcomplicate a sisty sandwich.
What a charmingly roguish turn of phrase. Allow me to express my thanks at your confidence and assure you that my plan isn't...
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other... The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay with a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush. In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for... Then it's good that... I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board. Not intentionally, though that's technic. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as... As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations, creating the perfect environment for us to enact. No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left.
Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that.
On the contrary, I wrote lots of very important reports on behalf of top MSI officials before I was able to. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to... I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but... Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a
If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off... I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then... Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us...
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could... It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater...
That's exactly how... Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to... What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, produced... What can I do for you? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grimm wore her patience thin a long time ago. Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Good to have standards, I guess.
I know what I'm looking for. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like Saltuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. Sorry, sometimes I get...
Wouldn't mind smelling like Saltuna if we could sell more of it. You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Well, if you're that friendly about it, then you definitely aren't one of Catherine's sublight toughs. My mistake. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it? She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real Damn right it is. It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money. No. I paid Sublight for it. So, it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take. Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering. Sure. And once you finish helping me, then we can talk about the poster. Fine by me. Stealing's such a nasty word. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the stereobiotics we use for the fish would get... We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the Saltuna, fat and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six space. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got no... I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do this.
She's principled, in at least this area. I will begrudgingly give her that.
Thank you. I think. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire Sublight contractors at this rate. Same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my terminal lately.
Are you absolutely sure of that, Ms. Ballard?
Just as a... hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to... He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps... For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Fine by me.
plenty of work to do, especially with so many no-shows.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean, more than usual.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the... What can Auntie Abigail do for you? And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits.
Whiskey helps, too.
Please leave medical advice to the professionals. Now, dearie, who's this pickup for?
Don't blame me if I puke on your shoes.
Aren't you a saucy thing? I may not be a fresh young thing anymore, but... Much as I'd love to, my rheumatism is especially fierce at the moment, and I'm all out of my medicine. But I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. You were here for caffeinoid. Oh, It's none of my business. But I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. If so, I would love to know where. Sublight Supply.
I'd hope not. Fleecing's the mark of a real professional.
Believe me, there's nothing I'd love better than to... Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access... Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. The one upstairs, where we store our medicines. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie. Chin off.
I don't have time for this. Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the... So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H. Mammoth. Aren't they just? When I get to worrying about the marauders outside, the raptidons chewing at the wall, most of the time it's static on account of the frequency being clogged up. So, what can I do for you? Graham's always filling the airwave. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes him real. Signed by the black hole himself. There's no way I could Why, did you want to see it? I don't have it yet. I'm waiting on a few customers to pay up before I can give Velma the bits. I don't know. This isn't just some poster. It's a genuine tossball artifact. The black hole doesn't even sign things anymore. He just... Of course, the only reason I asked Velma about it in the first place was because those sublight fellas lost my shipment of a... I was gonna line the walls with them. They're the new ones, now with authentic game time aroma. Mine too. I wish I could... Anyway, I guess they tried to take a shortcut around Amber Heights and ran into some trouble. Can't blame them for trying. Those iconoclasts. But they lost a bunch of cargo, including my jerseys. If you could get those for me, I might let Grim have... Thanks. Don't put yourself in danger on my account, though. What can I do for you?
Trying to get us all in trouble? What do you think you're doing? Carry on.
Good day to you.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit. Most people don't. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves. Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rap spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation, and I was a fool for staying. Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize there's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy.
That's what she said.
There's truly no end to my suffering. Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, nothing. That's what. Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, even talking about it has my blood pressure up. I've really... Luck...
It ain't stealing if no one sees.
Someone's been killed! I think I'm gonna be sick. I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this... If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Way to die.
Not much I can do for this guy.
Whatever you do, don't mention tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
Hey.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh? Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Dilated pupils, anxious posture, muscle spasms. She's high on some quality stuff.
No! Okay, maybe, just a little. Braxton always has a good stash, and I just like to let loose a little. Stop thinking about the marauders and the raptidons outside, you know? Oh, damn. He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick, and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
We're in agreement that this Braxton is probably dead, right?
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like... What can I get you? If you don't see it, I don't got it.
wrapped musk, and canid eyes, right here. Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a raptidon tongue? Or maybe some... You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh... Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days. But I've been meaning to ask her how that raptidon... I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm? Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else... Nuh-uh. A lot of people think I'm not too bright, but you're not fooling me. I know she can't get these goods anywhere else. Come on, that's crazy. No one would do that. I guess I could afford to take a risk. Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
Have you talked to Sebastian? Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia? I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on? Not to worry. If I never buy another... look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandu... Anyhow.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a... What I am doing, ma'am, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering... This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the... I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted. Days of consumption and culture. When we weren't squabbling with the iconoclasts for lack of better things to do. Look, you're making me melancholy. Just...
You look like a woman... I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I... He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always... Sure, they're real big. Who wouldn't be? Now that just sounds like a fancy way to say boring. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett, but I haven't seen him in a few weeks. Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out. All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last mannequin I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Yeah, I sent him past the ruins.
Please, will someone help me? Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just...
It's more dissolving than melting.
Oh, I just knew you were a good person. Agnes, he ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur. Please, won't you go? Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
So, Vicar. Vicky. Can I call you Vicky?
Absolutely fucking not.
For a vicar, you sure curse an awful fucking lot.
Look who's talking.
I'm not a fucking priest.
And thank the architect for that.
Reminds me of the crew cabin on one of my first ships.
The trick is not to breathe through your nose.
now. That's the last of them. May the law have mercy on you. I won't. I wonder what secrets these ruins.
Here we go.
Nice one, Captain. That was something.